Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I want to tell you a story. My family is a dog family. We've got loads of dogs. Among those dogs are two Weimaraners. We got the Weimaraners when they were just puppies. Now, all of our dogs are rescue. These dogs were rescued by another family, and that dog that they were rescued, that was rescued originally, had puppies, and so we got two of the puppies. Um, Weimaraners are incredibly smart. We had no idea how smart these Weimaraners are. We would, when they were little tiny puppies, they would go out back and run around, and they were in an invisible enclosure, and it was wonderful. They had a good time. They played, they ran around, they were marvelous. And as they got older, they figured out how to get out of that enclosure pretty quickly. They figured out how to get through the invisible fence. So we built an enclosure, and they were good. They stayed in there, they did what they had to do. And then they figured out how to get out of that enclosure. So we had to have someone come out and move the enclosure to another area. We moved the enclosure, and they seemed docile. They seemed, like, this is cool. We like this. We like this enclosure. And we didn't realize it, but they were digging tunnels from the center of the enclosure. And after about, I think, 20 days, they had figured out how to get out. They had tunnels down under their enclosure. Now, they don't live here with me any longer. They're still in the family. They live in another family with another family member and their kids and their husband, and there's enough people to kind of watch them, walk with them, hang out with them. But still, they say that, we've had to change doorknobs because they can figure out these doorknobs. They get out of the house. We're looking around like, where are the Wimmies? Well, they went out. They walking themselves today. And there have been times they come back home with a bagel in their mouths. What are you doing? They're incredibly smart. Same dogs. They just got smarter. If you've been watching me at all, you know where I'm going. Those novel Weimaraners grew up. That novel coronavirus has grown up. That's what viruses do. They adapt. They figure out the gaps in our behavior, in what we do and how we live and what we're eating and what we're doing. They study us, and they figure out how to work around the measures that we put in place. And we have this measure called a vaccination that's really, really good. But unless everybody's involved with taking care of it and doing it, the virus is going to get out. Now, the dogs now are enclosed because everybody in the family is involved with taking care of the measures that they do. But recently there was a family member visiting who decided to let them out. We are doing the same thing with this virus. We're in a family. We don't all want to act like we're family. We're dividing based on, the existence of it. Well, it's not what you think it is, and I'm not going to do that, and blah, 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 blah. But as a family, human family, we need to all do whatever's necessary because this virus is smart. And what was amazing to me is hearing people say, well, if the vaccine had worked, we wouldn't have to go back. No, the virus is smarter than you, obviously. It's so smart that it knows that it can go around certain things. Now, before, it was attacking the weakest and the most vulnerable. Why? Because that's all the strength that it had. And it's figured out. Young folks are like, we good, it ain't bothering us, it's not our virus. So this time, it's attacking the young. It's not that the measures we put in place didn't work. It's that we didn't work with them. We didn't use them. The virus got smarter. Why? Because we didn't put up enough enclosures. We didn't do what we needed to do. And when I hear people say these amazing things like, well, if the vaccine had worked, it wouldn't have come back. Are you vaccinated? No. I'm not a biologist. I am not um, a physical scientist. I'm a social scientist. I know human behavior. I know it well. And I know that humans will always try to find a way, like those Weimaraners, to get out. But sometimes, for the good of the human, you have to keep them in away from the thing that's going to destroy them because they won't do it themselves. Listen, people, if you can get vaccinated, get vaccinated. There are some people with medical complications and issues and things that keep them from being able to get vaccinated. We have to care for them and love them. There are some people who are vulnerable for all kinds of reasons. Our young are vulnerable. The elderly are still vulnerable. Even vaccinated people are vulnerable. We've got to take care of everybody. We're one family. And if one is sick, all can be sick. But all of us can take care of all of us. But stop walking around acting like you're smarter than the Weimaraner or Fauci. I love you.